Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I know I'm earlier than scheduled. That's because we have some breaking news. Breaking news. That used to be a thing in the OGDC. It was the freaking porch. They'd say, breaking news, breaking news. Well, we got the breaking news. Opposition to motion to defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction has been filed. DC has indeed retained an attorney, and just like I told you would happen, the attorney waited until the last minute to file appearance and file any motions. Do you guys remember? I think I was I'm pretty sure I played the clip, but maybe I didn't. Clara was live, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when it was, in the morning. And she got this message while she was live and she read it. And she was just, hold on. I got to scoot my chair, but Harlow's under my feet. So I had to make sure she wasn't going to get rolled over. Anyway, yeah, she got a message while she was live one morning and she was just literally squealing with delight. And I said, I know exactly what that was about. She said, oh, I just got some wonderful news. She wasn't going to say anything. I knew right then and there that was the attorney, because it was like on a Monday, not too early in the morning. Maybe it was Tuesday. I don't know. But I said right then and there, I said, she's done filed an attorney. And that was the attorney getting back to her, telling her that she would not have to file appearance until the very last minute. And that is what happened. So totally fine. I just want to take every opportunity I can to say, I told you so. I told you guys that's what was going to happen. She ain't stupid enough to go without an attorney again. I don't know. Give me just a moment because I need to really, Harlow, you're going to start your shit. Okay. Hold on one second. There's going to be some playback. There we go. All right. Let me just share this. Hold on. All right. So it's a 7-page motion. And of course, I have it for you. So we're going to read it. The hearing is in just over an hour. Well, it's scheduled. So yes, court will still go ahead. It's still a hearing on the docket. So hearing will still go ahead as far as I know. It is. Yeah, it is. As far as I know, it's still going to go ahead. And the this motion will be presented and ruled upon. All right, well, let's get to it. I'm not going to screen share because I haven't even read this 7-page document myself. So I don't know what it says or what it shows. So I'm not going to screen share. I'm just going to read it for you. Are we all ready? Do you guys want to go to the take a moment? Let's pump our brakes. Take a moment to take to Twitter, maybe share the stream so we don't have to be repeating ourselves or catching anybody up who's coming in a little late. I thought I saw somebody join memberships. Yes, Frankie the Chihuahua. Thank you so much for joining memberships. I appreciate your support of the channel. Illyria, hello. You ready, Cranky Pasta? You're welcome, DG. All right, well, let's get into it. People can tap back and catch up if they have to. All right, so this was filed, e-filed, May the 2nd, 2023 at 12:06 a.m. with the Superior Court of the District of Columbia. It was posted onto the website sometime within the last hour. All right. Yep. And as far as I can tell, the hearing is still on. Okay. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. Defendant Clara by and through counsel pursuant to D.C. Superior Court Civil Rule 65, files his opposition to plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction, and in support thereof states as follows. Introduction. Plaintiff, Hussey, seeks a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction, which he filed along with his complaint for defamation, false light, and intentional infliction of emotional distress pending trial on the merits. The plaintiff has been fighting with Clara online, and each has posted about the other in acrimonious terms. The allegations in this case are not appropriate for a preliminary injunction, and the plaintiff's motion should be denied. Interesting. Argument. A preliminary injunction is an extraordinary remedy, and the trial court's power to issue it should be exercised only after careful deliberation has persuaded it of the necessity for the relief. Here, the plaintiff is not entitled to a preliminary injunction. First, plaintiff cannot show a substantial likelihood that he will prevail on the merits. Plaintiff would have to prove that the statements were untrue, that the statements were not opinions, and that the statements were not made in jest or hyperbole. This cannot be proven prior to discovery and a jury trial. Second, the plaintiff cannot show that he would suffer irreparable harm during the pendency of the action. The plaintiff seeks monetary damages, which cannot constitute irreparable harm. Third, the harm that would result to Clara from the preliminary injunction would far outweigh the harm to the plaintiff from the denial of the preliminary injunction. How so? Fourth, the plaintiff's own arguments show that a preliminary injunction is inappropriate. Fifth, the requested relief is inappropriate. The plaintiff, Hussey, is requesting a prior restraint on speech, which violates Clara's First Amendment right of free speech, and for the court to usurp the role of jury, which violates Clara's 14th Amendment right of due process. This court should deny the plaintiff's motion. 1, plaintiff does not have a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. To succeed on the merits, plaintiff must demonstrate that Clara defamed him and defeat each of Clara's affirmative defenses. Plaintiff cannot do either of these things at this stage in the proceedings prior to any discovery. First, the jury should determine whether the statements claimed of are defamatory. The plaintiff alleges that Clara called him, quote, a predator, liar, scammer, and drunk. These statements are opinions and not statements of fact, and therefore not actionable as defamation. See New York Times versus Sullivan. The nerve. The nerve. That's funny. The First Amendment's right to freedom of speech recognizes that opinions are a form of protected speech. In the District of Columbia, not every uncomplimentary publication is libelous. An allegedly defamatory remark must be more than unpleasant or offensive. The language must make the plaintiff appear, I don't know all these big words, odious, infamous, or ridiculous. That's funny. Right, string cheese? God, she's so ridiculous. I wonder. Let's keep going. Under the First Amendment, a statement is not actionable if it is plain that a speaker is expressing a subjective view, an interpretation, a theory, conjecture, or surmise rather than claiming to be in possession of objectively verifiable facts. The DC Court of Appeals has never considered whether calling someone a predator is defamatory, but many other jurisdictions have found that such statements are opinion and not actionable. See Burgoon versus Delahunt, 2000, blah, blah, Rosada versus Daily News, 2014. By their very nature, opinions are not capable of being true or false. Statements like convicted felon or HIV positive or 20 weeks pregnant have objective, verifiable meaning. Really? That's interesting. Let me just pause here. On page 3 of this document, it's interesting that Clara's attorney is specifically choosing to use a statement such as convicted felon as an example of statements that have objective, verifiable meaning when defending Clara against allegations of defamation and slander. Very, very interesting. Also, HIV positive. Also interesting. Is it not, Ronald? Is anybody listening on behalf of Catherine? Wow. Statements like convicted felon or HIV positive or 20 weeks pregnant have objective, verifiable meaning. Sexual predator does not. Rather, it is the sort of loose, figurative, or hyperbolic language that is immunized from defamation claims. Another case is referenced. I'm just gonna skim over the cases, the case law that's referenced, unless I see something that's worth spitting out. Mogg versus Lindemood, let's see, December 2020. That opinion read, "We agree with our sister state courts that have directly addressed this language, concluding that it falls within the broader principle that a speaker's individual judgment that rests solely in the eye of the beholder is mere opinion." The statements complained of are opinions and thus cannot constitute defamation. At best, the jury must make these determinations. Second, the jury should determine whether the statements are true, fair comments, or made in jest. Just because plaintiff is unhappy that Frank made these comments does not mean that the statements are actionable. Plaintiff must prove that the statements are false in order to prevail on a defamation claim. Didn't they also say that Hussey had a criminal record that he doesn't have? He must also prove that the comments were not made in jest and were unfair. A jury should make this determination after a full and fair opportunity for Clara to prove her case. I thought Hussey had to prove his case. 2, plaintiff will not suffer irreparable harm pending trial. In order for the plaintiff to prevail on a preliminary injunction, he must prove that he would suffer irreparable harm. Hey, wait, pause. I see Manning's in the chat. Manning, did you hear that part where they cited previous case law that specifically states, and I quote, statements like convicted felon or HIV positive or 20 weeks pregnant have objective, verifiable meaning. Did you hear that part? Oh, you did. Okay, good. All right. Anyway, where were we? In order for the plaintiff to prevail on a preliminary injunction, he must prove that he would suffer irreparable harm during the pendency of the action. This he cannot do. The primary justification for a preliminary injunction is always to prevent irreparable injury so as to preserve the court's ability to render a meaningful decision on the merits. A preliminary injunction is inappropriate unless the injury would be incapable of being redressed after a final hearing on the merits. Where monetary damages are requested as the plaintiff is here requesting, there is an adequate remedy that is short of a preliminary injunction. Irreparable harm must necessarily be an injury that cannot be adequately compensated or remedied by a monetary award or damages that may be awarded. Since the plaintiff is requesting monetary damages, there is no irreparable harm. Okay, pause again. Lisa in the chat. Could you explain it to us like we're five what a preliminary injunction means? Like, is that basically, is Hussey's side asking the court to like issue court orders, i.e. DC, STFU, before the case is even heard? So is that what the preliminary injunction is the request for the TRO? Sally, you cannot advise on advice. It's not, this isn't federal. Why would it be federal? Okay, well, can you explain to us, like we're five, what a preliminary injunction is my question. Just what is a preliminary injunction? Cat says, forget being five. Explain it to us like we're all me. Hey, King DDD. Welcome to Basic Betties. We do love our Basic Betties. A preliminary injunction is to stop a behavior while litigation is pending. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, moving on. To prevent further harm. Yeah. So Clara's attorney is basically saying, hey, listen, at the end of this thing, if my client loses it, she's going to be paying Hussey a nice little chunk of cash anyway. So just go ahead and let her continue her behaviors until the case is settled, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. We appreciate you, Manning. All right. More harm. Number 3, more harm will result to the defendant from the preliminary injunction than would result to the plaintiff if the injunction is denied. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this. Plaintiff always bears burden unless there is a countersuit or affirmative defense. Okay. I know what a countersuit is, but I'm not quite sure on the affirmative defense. If Hussey goes, I'm not going to read that. Let's see. The plaintiff incorrectly argued that Clara will suffer no harm at all if the preliminary injunction is granted. This cannot be further from the truth. If the plaintiff is granted a preliminary injunction, Frank's First and 14th Amendment rights will be violated. This will harm Frank greatly. On the other hand, if the preliminary injunction is denied, the status quo will be preserved. Yes, please preserve the status quo. Should plaintiff be able to show at trial that Frank defamed and harmed him, which he cannot, that's what it says, which he cannot, he will be entitled to monetary damages. There is no harm that could be cured by a monetary judgment. Thus, Frank would suffer more harm than the plaintiff. Four, plaintiff's own argument defeat his motion. Plaintiff's own arguments defeat his motion. Plaintiff claimed in his motion that it is likely that his image has already been irreversibly affected. The alleged defamatory statements have been and continue to be visible on the internet, and that the statements have already damaged him psychologically. All these allegations state that the harm has already occurred. Is this argument like, I already killed you, so I can't kill you more? What did Dirty Sal say? I can't find it. Oh, is Granny Gird's burden of proof at the moment? No. Okay, anyway. All these allegations state that the harm has already occurred. Paragraph 5 actually claims that his image has already been irreversibly affected. Plaintiff thus does not and cannot claim that there is a danger of irreparable harm during the pendency of the action, which is required for a preliminary injunction. Okay. 5. Plaintiff's requested relief is inappropriate. Hey, Vidal. Which, by the way, speaking of Vidal reminded me, I've not heard back from the court on the how much the transcript's going to be. Just so you know, I'll keep you guys updated daily. I've not yet heard back, although I'm not surprised. Plaintiff's own arguments show that a preliminary injunction to preserve the status quo is inappropriate. Plaintiff has requested that 1, Clara be enjoined from additional or further defamatory statements, and 2, that she be ordered to remove all posts that contain, quote, lies and, quote, misinformation and place plaintiff in a false light. These remedies are inappropriate. First, prior restraints on speech violates the First Amendment. See New York versus U.S. 403-713, 1971. Generally speaking, I'm going to start talking how I think the attorney is going to sound in court. Generally speaking, prohibition on speech before the speech is published is unconstitutional. See Near versus Minnesota, blah, 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 1931. 1931. Atta girl. There is a, quote, heavy presumption against the constitutional validity of prior restraint. Bantam Books, Inc. versus Sullivan, 1963. See also Facebook, Inc. versus Pepe, 2020. Whatever. Prior restraints come with a heavy presumption against their constitutional validity. A content-based prior restraint violates the First Amendment unless it serves a compelling state interest and is narrowly tailored so as to limit speech as little as possible. Dirty Uncle Sal, welcome. Steph, thanks so much for gifting a membership. Prior restraint encompasses, indeed, often arises from judicial injunctions. Ordinarily, equity does not enjoin a libel or slander. A prior restraint on speech that is premised merely on protecting business interests, quote, fails First Amendment scrutiny. Coulter versus Gerald Family Care, 2009. Overturning a protective order on First Amendment grounds where it enjoined one party from speech about the other party's misconduct on his professional career. Significantly, in Richardson, the D.C. Court of Appeals held that it was error for the Superior Court to enjoin allegedly defamatory statements prior to their publication. Limitations on free speech can only be accomplished by means of sanctions after the act. Thus, it would be improper to enjoin Frank from speech which she has not yet published. Second, a jury should determine whether there are any posts that contain, quote, lies and, quote, misinformation and place the plaintiff in a false light. This is not something that can or should be decided prior to a jury trial. It would violate Frank's due process rights under the 14th Amendment. The whole idea of a jury system guarantees Frank a jury trial to determine the facts underlying the plaintiff's claims. To deny Frank her substantial rights in a rush to judgment would violate her 14th Amendment rights. Conclusion. For all these reasons and any others appearing to the court, the defendant Frank respectfully requests that this honorable court deny the plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. Moreover, under D.C. Superior Court Civil Rule 65, the court may issue a preliminary injunction only if the plaintiff posts security and the amount necessary and proper to pay the cost and damages sustained by the defendants should she be found that have been wrongly enjoined or restrained, whatever, which would be the amount defendant expects to pay her attorney for the trial. Yeah, how much is that? We need a number. We need to know if we can crowdfund that. Can we know how much the defendant expects to pay her attorney for the trial, Donna? Donna Biderman of Fairfax, Virginia. We use due process as a catch-all to fight summary judgment and TROs generally. Is there a law for Demi's version? Yes, Katie. So the 14th Amendment is due process. Due process is your right to have a court hearing, essentially. And we use due process as a catch-all to fight summary judgment and TROs generally. Meaning, if you're going to slap my client with a court order to shut the fuck up based on somebody else's allegation that they've done something wrong, isn't that you basically denying somebody's constitutional right to free speech and due process by saying, hey, without having seen or heard any evidence, and without a jury seeing or hearing any evidence, and without the defendant being able to defend themselves, I'm going to go ahead and slap you with a court order to shut the fuck up. So that's in a nutshell, DC / her lawyer saying calling someone a predator, etc. online is not defamation. It's basically free speech under the First Amendment, if I'm hearing and understanding this right. That's the argument. I'm spot on. Thank you. Elisa says, at least here in Indiana, I can't speak to DC. Well, I kind of like to go back to page 3 of this here document because I find that interesting. Here we go. Something about how something. Oh, yes. The DC Court of Appeals has never considered whether calling someone a predator is defamatory, but many other jurisdictions have found that such statements are opinion and not actionable. By their very nature, opinions are not capable of being true or false. However, statements such as convicted felon or HIV positive have objective, verifiable meaning. Sexual predator does not. I find that interesting, personally, seeing as how these same parties, well, Clara and her boyfriend Ronald, have been going around the internet telling everybody I'm a convicted felon. You're sure convicted felon came from a case? Yes, it is. It is from a case. It was an example. I think that was from Rosado versus Daily News LP. No, we don't have video coverage. You cannot rebroadcast the hearing, but I'll be giving you guys the play-by-play. How do you like that? Oh, Indy, I think it's just coincidence. I think that came from the particular case law that DC's attorney decided to reference. But yeah, I know somebody who's going around calling somebody who's not a convicted felon a convicted felon all over the internet. And I think that same person's going around saying that somebody has HIV that doesn't have HIV. Maybe we should stop doing that. G says, anyone got bets on today's outcome after hearing both filings? You never know what damn way a hearing's going to go. You can walk into court 100% positive shit's going to go your way, and you walk out convicted of 2 fucking felonies. I promise that's possible. Hey, Moon, good to see you. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for the super chat. Lisa says she right. I'm right. You can walk into court and have a motion to dismiss that you filed that was successfully granted a year prior, taken heavily into consideration, and a whole new cause of action. And then ultimately, your new cause of action be decided based on that almost year-old motion to dismiss. That shit happens. Right, Lisa? Am I right? I remember the precise moment. When that realization came down upon both of us. I think it was at the same moment. I was like, you gotta be kidding. I've heard these words before. It's great. Let me check my email, see if we've heard back from the court reporter on how much those transcripts are going to cost. Give me just a second. Let me see here. Nope. Not yet. Well, guys, the hearing is scheduled for 2:30, which is when you text me, yes. When you text me and said, holy shit, she's definitely read the August motion. What do you mean they're closed? We have a hearing today. Oh, you mean the clerk here? Oh, they are. All right, fine. Excused. All right, guys. That's why we haven't heard back from the clerk regarding the transcript. Well, how come the DC court is in session today? Today's the 2nd. Yeah. Are they not doing midterm elections in Washington, D.C.? I don't know how shit works there. I just don't. Important question, Sam. Did you get the bucket of KFC for lunch? No. I know this is not the presidential election. You mean to tell me they don't? It's local only. Oh, is there not a mayor of Washington, D.C.? They don't have a city council. Shut up. Gosh. That reminds me, I didn't vote. It's fine. No, I didn't get a bucket of KFC for lunch, funny girl, but I tell you what. If I could have, I would have. You're not going to get blocked. I know, G. Only Yaba and Lisa Manning can make Sam shut up. You're right. You right. You right. It's okay, Rectal Deviant. You can rewind. We have almost an hour to kill. So yeah, it's on the docket for 2:30, but that don't mean they're calling them at 2:30, guys. All right, kids. We're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to find something else to talk about while we wait. You do have a mayor? So what? I'm confused. So how come our courts are closed and DC's not? I'm just so confused. Did you know that if you eat a bucket? Oh, that's right. Yeah, convicted felons don't vote. That's another thing. Okay. So it's going around telling people that Pete Buttigieg took a restraining order out on me. That's slander and defamation because that's not true. And they know it's not true. Going around telling people I've got a restraining order on me or have in the past. Never, not once have I had a restraining order on me. Nope. Callie will start tweeting, see, Sam didn't vote. She's a criminal. All right, funny girl. We'll be here. I hope. Of course, Washington, D.C. has a mayor. Don't you remember Marion Barry? No. I love Pete, so you got to find a different lawyer for that. Listen, you can't even give me 3 good reasons why you love Peter, okay? But I can give you 30 reasons why you should change your mind, and you know I can. You know I can. That's why you refuse to discuss it with me, because you know I'll change your mind. Why is KFC closed? Felon. Oh, felon can vote. It's a state-by-state basis. See? What? I don't even know. Can felons vote in the state of Indiana? I have no idea because I'm not a felon. He got caught smoking crack with a hooker in a hotel room. It was hysterical. Who? Oh, the mayor of DC? No way. Marion Barry, the crack prostitute loving smoking mayor. When was that? What year was that? The municipal elections in Washington are in June and November. Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you. Oh, Indiana courts. Okay. Okay, I get you. I get you. The Indiana local elections are today. That's why Indiana courts are closed. Got it. Aren't you a felon in Texas? No. Why would I be a felon in Texas? I lived in Texas for just under 2 years and I was never went to jail in Texas. I don't know why I'd be a felon there. Definitely slander hippie piece. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right. I'm making notes here on all the things I'm going to bring up in my slander and defamation lawsuit. Okay. Who cares? Says I walked into court one time and went to jail. All right. Convicted felon. Lies. EPO by Peter. Lies. All lies. You know, in the state of Indiana, there is a protective order registry. And if you have or at any time have had a protective order against you, your name's on that registry. Mm-hmm. Girl, you're making me tired already. Mm-hmm. Well, you got a lot of work ahead of you, Miss Manning. Oh, Chuchu says Sam is my second favorite law nerd next to Emily D. Baker. You hear that, Manning? Oh, you could read it again for the people only just coming in since we have time to pass. Dear God, no. Sorry, Steph, but no. Anybody coming in who wants to hear this 7-page defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction filed at midnight, at the stroke of midnight on May the 2nd, 2023 by Clara's attorney who entered at the last minute as I predicted. You can rewind, crank her up to 1.5. You should be able to keep up. Thank you for the suggestion, Steph. Oh, a bench warrant in Texas. Got it. Does Indiana extradite? What are you talking about? Don't fence me in. I have no idea what you're talking about. We work at midnight, girl. We just do. I believe that. See, that right there is why I never bothered wasting my money on law school. I got to be in bed by 8:30, 8:45 at the latest. Hey, who cares? Thanks for joining memberships. We do love our basic buddies. No, Lilith, it doesn't start until 2:30, and I'm not quite sure they'll be called right at 2:30. You don't know, you're confused. Don't fence me in. I mean, it's where are you even getting these things from? And yes, Indiana extradites. Dude, I had a nephew by marriage. That dude was literally getting bopped back and forth between Indiana and Texas criminal justice systems for like years. Oh, okay. Not a Gamer says felons in Indiana can vote as long as they are not incarcerated or on probation. Once off probation, they can vote again. All right, good to know. You guys have no idea what I put Lisa Manning through on the text messages. No idea. Right. Sam, just my opinion, but I wouldn't fuck with a woman who the U.S. Secretary of Transportation has a protective order against. I let them think that just for fun. They wish. Pete Buttigieg wishes he could have got a restraining order against me back in the day when he was running for president. He wishes. Do you know? Okay, I have no way of proving this, but I'm pretty sure the city of South Bend blocked my IP address from accessing their public records. Uh-huh. It's fine, totally fine. I just canceled my internet and started up a new internet with a whole new internet company and resumed. Will this court appearance be streamed? No, EDubCat. Our legal team has advised us that we cannot stream it. We cannot play the audio, but I can give a play-by-play of it. So like I can listen in my ear. What is the sound that keeps happening on my computer and why? Can anybody tell me? Oh, wait, is it this? Uh-oh. No, I don't think so. DC law is pretty public. Yeah, it is, but still. Pete looks like a nervous cartoon mouse. Here in my country, some lawyers accept chickens as payment. Hey, Manning, I know a chicken farmer. If that's something you're open to, I have some causes of action ready to go. I feel like Lisa probably has a few Teflon-induced gray hairs, more than a few, I'm sure. I know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing that. 2 chickens for a TRO hearing. I know a good butcher. All right. Well, whatever. Let's see. Let's go. Okay. I'm going to go have a peek see over there on the Twitter. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I'll address that later. I don't have time right now. It's beeping when you're done with stream. No. Oh, wait, what is this? What is this thing that? No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. All right. I got to switch my stock account. Just a minute. Of what image? Jesus. What is that? Oh, my bad. Just give me a second, will you? Oh my God. DC's unlocked her Twitter down again. What the shit? You think her attorney told her to do that? You rat bastard, you. These tweets are protected. Of course they are. Jesus, you're exhausting, woman. What do you want? You're bopping up here like you think I got something to eat. I don't. She's like, I know you do. I know you got chips. I know you do. Frankie the Chihuahua says, anyone ever have a hash brown from McDonald's? Who hasn't had a hash brown from McDonald's? Ow. If she hired a lawyer worth anything, they'll tell her to shut the fuck up on all platforms until the case is over. Well, you would think they'd have been told her to do that by now, but they haven't. I wouldn't say she's shook about court. She does that. She locks it down, then unlocks it down. It's so weird. Well, that's no fun. Jesus. Let's check in with Alex Glittershit, see what Alana's up to today. I see Alana's not yet slammed her Twitter down. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, remember how we told all y'all that Alex Glittershit's real name was Crystal? Scratch that. It's Alana. We let Alana, we didn't want to scare Alana away. And we knew that if we let on to Alana that we knew she was really Alana and not this Crystal person that she emailed us and handed over to us, that we would scare her away. Anyway, so y'all write that down. I've had enough of Alana, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that one. So Alex Glitter Shit. Alana. Alex Alana. You guys got it? Do we need to write it down? Alana from Alabama. Our Lady, I don't either. Why can't we all just be upfront and forthcoming about our identities? Right, Alana? Oh, and she's a fatty too. You guys probably saw it all over the Twitter already. It's fine. She is a fatty. You're all three of what? Kelly's bathroom studio. Oh, Jennifer's looked up the attorney. Says Clara's attorney used to work at Howry and Simon, a huge firm in DC. Oh yeah, where does she work now? She's solo now? Hmm? Isn't Alana Honey Boo Boo's real name? Yes. Death fat, irregular fat, regular fat, regular fat. So Crystal, Lady Innocent. I'm not going to speak on that because we are in the middle of investigating some things still about the Crystal person. More to come on that. Listen, let me show you one piece of evidence. Fine. We'll do this. It's fine. Facebook. Did that really say that? Jesus. All right. Oh, wait. That's not what I want to do. Go this way. Just hold on, guys. You're so impatient. Here we go. All right. So listen. This Facebook profile, right? Oh, wait. Hold on. Doopy doop. There we go. What the hell? Why isn't it doing it? Oh, there we go. All right. So is that good? Yeah, that's good. All right. Done. Y'all tell me what you think about this. So, see this Facebook post or Facebook page? Right? Crystal, whatever her last name is, I can't pronounce it. Okay. So, this Crystal person, their name first got tossed into the ring about a year ago, right? Just so happens that this person, this Crystal person, their information was emailed to Yaba the day after what, Steph? It's 2:00. Is it starting early? I thought the hearing was at 2:30. Oh, you got let in? Stop. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Hang on, guys. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We're all set up here for the most part. They've not yet called the case that we're interested in. All right. Hold on. Let me plug my phone in. Uh-oh. Quit it. Hush. Harlow, you hear her? Can you believe it? All right. I had to switch to my AirPod. Can you listen in? No, Sherry, but I can give you a play by play. Okay, so yeah, back to this while we wait. All right. I don't hear anything going on in there. I just switched to my AirPods, so let me know if I'm running my mouth and something starts, okay? So back to Alex, aka Alana. So okay, I can hear. Hold on. All right. They've started another hearing, I think, which is great. So anyhow, um, April of last year, there's this email saying that this is Alex, right? Just hand it over, just slid across the desk. Well, this email comes to us literally the day after Alex Glitter is doxxed on the farms as being Alana and like the proof of it, right? So how coincidental is that the day after Alex Glitter is doxxed to be Alana, the very next day, Yaba receives an email saying, "Hey, this is who Alex is for your protection," right? They even said that. This is not a dox, this is for your protection. Well, this is the crystal person. Well, here's what I noticed in going back to this Facebook page, because this Facebook page, as you can see, prior to November 30th, 2022 profile picture change, the last time this Facebook was active was March 1st of 2016. So it's like this crystal person only has one Facebook and it's been dormant since March 1st, 2016. How unfortunate, right? Right, right. Well, now look what's happened. And I haven't opened this Facebook in quite a while because it was a dud Facebook, right? Last thing that happened was updating the profile picture March 1st, 2016. Well, lo and behold, I go back to this Facebook and all of a sudden, November 30th, 2022, Crystal all of a sudden updates the profile picture. How many years is that? 16 to 17, 17 to 18, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, 20 to 21, 21 to 22. 6.5 years. 6.5 years later, after the last profile picture was updated, and there's no activity on this Facebook. All of a sudden, November 30th, 2022, the profile picture changes. And when I first looked at it, I was like, that's a unicorn. Because you guys, well, some of you may not be familiar, but like, when like the unicorn stuff got really popular for little girls, like their birthday party, stuff like that. And everyone's using the same one, the same unicorn depiction. Well, at first glance, that's what I thought that was. Matter of fact, Celeste, my granddaughter, her first birthday was the unicorns. So that's why, like, at first I was like, change it to a unicorn, like whatever. But then I looked closer. That's not a unicorn. That is eyelashes. And those aren't just eyelashes. Those are glittery eyelashes. Is that not eyelashes with glitter? With glitter. Yes, glitter eyelashes. You find the link to court on the farms. Not just glitter, Alex, Alana, right? But eyelashes, exactly. Wonky eyelashes. Wonky eyelashes and glitter. Callie and Alex. What do you mean you're confused, Bunny? Follow on. Keep up. And I'm telling you, this girl's information was emailed to Yaba last year, the day after the farms doxed Alex as being Alana. It was like, Alana had to hurry up real quick and throw somebody else's failed docs in front of Yaba and Sam, and then just cross their fingers and hope to die that Yaba and Sam didn't notice that the day prior, Alex Glitter had been doxxed with proof that it was her on the Kiwi farms. And one thing we know about Alex Glitter is that when the heat turns up on her a little bit, she locks her Twitter down and kind of hides for a little bit. So we know she's easily scared, right? And I'm not saying scared off as in like we would lose Alex forever. She's never going to leave. But hold on, let me take this off because you're being annoying. But she would ditch her Alex Glitter shit account and just pop up elsewhere, and then we'd be starting from scratch, So we didn't want to scare her off. So we were like, oh yeah, Crystal, yeah. Oh, okay. The email address that this email came from, are you ready for it? The email address was Nobody Wonderful. Nobody Wonderful. Tell us you Alex Glitter shit are Miss Fucking Nobody without telling us you're Miss Fucking Nobody. Nobody Wonderful. And of course, it's a proton mail. So a Nobody Wonderful at proton mail email address. By the way, at almost precisely 12 o'clock p.m. on the dot, Atlanta, Alabama local time. Okay. The day after the Farms gets the real docs on Alex Glitter shit. And the real docs on Alex Glitter shit came because Alex Glitter shit made a really, really critical error with posting something on using an account that she had just recently flipped. So it was like an old YouTube channel that she had like just recently flipped, and she updated the profile picture on it. But see, when you update, yes, Hippista, I'm in the court. I'm listening in my ear. There's another there's a another hearing taking place right now. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Well, when you change your profile picture on the YouTube, it doesn't change automatically and in real time on the public facing side. And she jumped the gun and posted something. You can't find the court link on the Farms. Hold on. Just hold on. Let's see. What is your deal, Harlow? I swear, you're the most annoying puppered up doggy dog I've ever known in my life. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for it. Just give me a second because I have it up on my phone. So let me find it on my computer. When was that? Oh, I tell you what, scrolling through this particular thread just makes me chuckle sometimes. Harlow's annoying. Harlow will not scratch like at all unless I'm live and she's in the room with me. And then she wants to start scratching herself like she's got the fleas or something. Get out of here. Ow! God, quit it. I'm not playing with you right now. Where in the hell is that post? Why does Alex have such a hard on to try and cause shit? That woman has no life and she is clinically insane. She has a husband. I don't think she has a child though. She lied and said she had a son. She doesn't. God, why can't I? What the fuck? Oh, well, I don't know what to tell y'all. I posted it in my last stream. Hold on, is that it? I think I got it. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. At 1:06, 1 hour, 6 minutes yesterday's stream. Oh, thank you. I found it though. Oh crap, let me pin it. Nikki says this judge seems no nonsense. I mean, you have to sign up for the WebEx or whatever and whatever, but like they're letting anybody in. I'm in there under my regular name, but I do see BC Morbidly Obese Ghoul. I see Chantel Sarro. Whoever is in under the name Chantel Sarro, they're in there on the phone. Let's see. What else do we have? Who else do we have here? Lisa Simpson. Nikki P. Nikki P, I see you in there twice. I see several people in here twice. Violent Femme. Now, you know who I don't see in here? I don't see one Clara Frank. I don't see Clara. I see a Clara Sorrenti. I don't think that's the same Clara. Let me check the court website and see if there's been any funny business filed. Nope. The only thing that's been filed today is the opposition of motion. Are we in the right courtroom though? Because here's the thing, guys. It says the judicial officer is a Jeanette Clark, and the judge in this room is absolutely not a Jeanette Clark. So let's go back. Let's double check the courtroom. It is courtroom 400. And the host of this is CTB 400. Yeah, it says 400. Right room, wrong judge. I mean, that's definitely not. What was the name? Definitely not Jeanette Clark. Yeah, it still says courtroom 400, and we are in courtroom 400. So we'll see. Can anybody go check dockets to see if it's been switched? How do we do that? Let's see. Hold on, please. It's likely a magistrate. What do you mean? So do you think we're in the right courtroom or not? Hold on, Manning. I got it. Mm, 1935. Wait, hold on, Manning, come back. That's the wrong number. Sorry. Just come back. Okay. The case number for today's hearing is this one, Manning. Shit. Sorry. See, I knew. I knew I should have double checked it. My bad. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I realize you guys can't hear anything. I've got sound in my ear and I'm just leaving y'all in silence. Sorry. Mm, okay. It is Superior Court of the District of Columbia Civil Branch. Can y'all hear that? Mm-mm-mm. It says on the order, Ebony Scott. Yes, Lisa. Or, yeah, that's what it says, Ebony Scott. But okay, wait. On the website, it says Ebony Scott. But then if you go down on the events and orders of the court, it says May 2nd, 2023, virtual offsite hearing on TRO, 2:30 p.m. Judicial Officer Clark Jeanette J. Okay. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Hold on. That's Wednesday, Monday. No, we need one for Tuesday. No, that's last week. Lisa says she's a senior judge. Okay. All right, hold on. Why is it not letting me do that? Yeah, it sounds like this is wrapping up. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, Angela. Jesus. No, I'm in. I'm listening in my ear. CH. First come, first serve. If they locked it down at a certain point, oh well then. I think that they only admit people in when they're not actually hearing actively hearing a case. So they're currently actively hearing a case, which is why I think they're not letting people in. Okay, you said you think Hussey's in there now? Let me see. Clara's in there now. We're in the right place. All right, Clara's there. Oh my God, she just turned her camera on. She's vaping. This is great. All right, listen up, everyone. She's on camera and she's sucking her vape. This is great. Pee break, everyone. I think they're probably going to be next if she just entered. Let me check my Twitter DMs. Excuse me. All right, the 2:30 is ready. Oh God. Uh-oh. I think they're going to try to kick people out, guys. I think they're going to try to kick people out. One party has requested to speak with the judge privately. So the judge is now muted, and the party, which I think may be Hussey's lawyer, is asking to speak privately with the judge. Clara looks like an absolute idiot. Hussey is in there, not on camera. Hussey's now on camera. Hussey's in a purple wig and Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. Hussey is in a purple wig and Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses, bright pink lipstick. Yes, Hussey's wearing a purple wig and Dolce and Gabbana. Clara is wearing what looks to be a heather gray sweatshirt, not to be mistaken for a sweater. It's a sweatshirt. She's got her glasses on, her hair. She looks like regular, normal Clara. Still bald on top. She just took a deep dip of the head to look at something on her phone. Still bald on top. All right, so we're just wait. Oh, look, my name's right next to Clara's. That's funny. Hey, Clara. Hey, Kimmy Sunshine. Thanks so much for the super chat. Unfinished sentence. Thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. We love our basic betties. Why can't you stream it? You're not allowed to record or broadcast these hearings. But you can certainly listen in and give a play-by-play to 908 of your closest friends. Absolutely. Hey, Clara, look at you, girl. I'm going to check on, okay, Hussey is now, oh, no, Hussey's still on camera. I don't yet see Clara's attorney. Oh, I see Hussey's attorney. I don't see Clara's attorney. Maybe that's what why Clara is feverishly in her phone, probably texting her attorney, "Where are you? Are you coming?" Let's see. Donna, that's who we're looking for, guys. Donna. What name do I think Ron is under? Let's see. Probably James Smith. Probably James Smith. Oh, wait, who do we have here? Oh, Hussey's attorney's paralegal is in there. Boy, I hope my name's on the short list of people they will object to having kicked from the hearing. Yes, that is Paul the cat crying in the background. But Paul the cat, his meat sticks were delivered this morning, so I know he's had a meat stick at some point within the last hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't see Xanax Loser Boy, but he could be in there under an alias. Wendy, you're waiting to be let in. They should be admitting people because I think they let people in, in between the hearings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would. DC clearly reading all the screen names at the moment. I think she's writing them down. She's definitely writing them down. She has her concentrating really hard face on. It should still be the pin link above, yes. I wonder if this case will have the most views. I mean, hearings are public. They're open to the public. Anybody should be able to get the link and watch them. The information on how to join the hearing was posted publicly along with the rest of the public record pertaining to the case. So, I mean, I don't see why they were going around kicking people out. Like, if you're located in the United States of America, you can literally go to any courtroom in any county and walk in and sit down and observe any court proceeding that you wish. You don't have to sign your name. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to ask permission. Nobody can turn around and say, I don't want them witnessing my hearing. No, you can't do that. It's open to the public. Clara's very fidgety. She's moving things around on her desk. Ken is just sitting there. Hussey's just sitting there, ready to go. Not sealed hearings, right, but this is not a sealed hearing. This is a regular ass hearing, and they posted how to get into it on the internet. If their servers can't handle the volume, they would have to kick people. Yeah, but I don't think that's a problem. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's not like there's 300 people in there. There's not. How come her boyfriend isn't sitting behind her? Because she's not in, she's in DC. Her boyfriend stays in Indiana. Her boyfriend stays put in Indiana. Yeah, I have not yet seen Clara's attorney. Let me check again. I should have put paralegal for Maxwell and Price behind my name too. Her boyfriend is a broke shut-in. Yeah. You used to show up in person at court with a bagged lunch just to observe. They would let you take food in. Crazy. Boy, that phone call is taking a while, huh? Yikes. Yes, Clara looks nervous AF. She's definitely scanning names. I'm sure she's writing them down. She's you can tell she's picked up her cell phone, her cellular device again. It looks like hippie. I don't know a code for phone only. I'm sorry. I see no evidence that her attorney is in the room as of this point, string cheese. I've scrolled a few times. Nope, she has an attorney, straight talking Fedora chick. We've confirmed that. There has been a motion filed by Clara's attorney just this morning. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, you can do that if you wanted to. She does appear to be communicating what I would have to assume would be via text message on her cellular device. What happens if Clara's lawyer doesn't show? She'd probably ask the judge to reset it so she could figure out where the hell her attorney is, I guess. I'm scanning again for the attorney, unless they're in there under another name, which I don't see that happening. Let's see if Hussy's getting any communication from his attorney. Just a second. I can't see. Uh-huh. I swear I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom before this gets started. Arrived late, but almost caught up. Good. Good, Jasmine. Glad you're here. Dark Ninja, I'm not sure. I know a lot of people are saying they're not getting in yet. I don't know if they're going to let more people in before they get started or not. When they called the 230 case, which is Hussey v. Clara, I couldn't see who it was asking to speak with the judge privately. So I don't know if it was Hussey's attorney or perhaps somebody representing the law firm Clara hired. I don't know. But Regarding this case, there is what I can only assume to be an attorney who is speaking privately with the judge, and that's what we're waiting on for them to come back. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom now. This is how we're going to get them to come back. I'm going to get up to go to the bathroom. They'll come right back. All right, I'm back. We've missed nothing. The judge continues to be on mute. Clara is on camera, still looking down at her phone. Ken is on camera. I don't know what he's looking at. Mm-hmm. Let's have a look at the attorney retained by Clara while we're waiting. The attorney motion didn't say she was going to represent Clara. Do you think the judge will make him take the shades off? I don't know. When you said we're back, Clara shit her head up at the screen. Methinks she's shot her head up at the screen. Methinks she's listening. Hey, Clara. Yes, we're listening. We're listening. We're waiting. We think it's great. All right. Clara's attorneys' areas of practice are civil litigation, criminal defense, employment law, estate planning, and corporate law. I am not posting screenshots. We're not doing that. We have one page of client testimonials. I'm not interested in that. Boy, whatever's being spoken about privately must be quite complex. All right, I can tell you that Clara's attorney has an office right outside of a courthouse. I don't know if it's this one. I don't think it is. No. Can you open up MS Paint and try to give us live court drawings? A stickman hussy with a purple wig, designer's glasses sounds incredible. I think both lawyers have to be there for a private conversation. Oh, I don't know. You hope the judge is telling him you can't pick and choose who can observe. Uh-oh. There's now somebody in there called CTB Tech. And that's also the name of the courtroom, CTB 400. Uh-oh, what's that all about? Wonder what they're looking at. Yeah, I don't think they're letting anybody else in, guys. I got kicked out. I've been kicked out. Wow. I think they probably told the judge I was live streaming it. You rat bastards. Hold on. Yeah, we've been kicked. Is anybody else kicked out? Is anybody else kicked out? Where's Nikki? Nikki's been kicked out. String cheese is still in. String cheese? Oh boy. Lisa Simpson got kicked out. No, Lisa said she got kicked out. Insomnial, are you in? String cheese, give us an update. Are you still in? Nikki, are you in? You're the last person that needs to be left in. This stuff is like another language. You're under, don't tell them. You're in the lobby too. Hey, String Cheese, are you on Twitter? If so, DM me. I'm going to give you my phone number. If you're watching, do you want to call me and you can put it on speaker and I can hear it through the phone? I don't have time to rejoin under another name. Did you get kicked, String Cheese? Hold on. String Cheese got kicked out. That's okay. We're still going to get the transcripts to our hearing. Down forward punch got kicked. They have to let you in. They're not going to let anybody in. They're not going to let anybody back in. No one on the farms is in. I mean, I'm back in the waiting room. That don't mean nothing. They're not going to let anyone back in. Okay, Red Mask is listening. Okay. So according to Red Mask, there is somebody in the farm still in there. Ain't none of us getting back in. Excuse me. Mm-mm-mm. That's okay. We can get the transcript, guys, right? Hold on. You're in the waiting. Yeah, they're not going to let us in. They're not Gucci. It's Dolce & Gabbana, and they're black. Did you get kicked, Insomnial? I don't know how to just call in. Hold on. I think you have to be let in, don't you? Even to that. Oh, or to join by phone. Oh, please. It will. It'll probably get continued. It's fine. Join by phone. 2. Owl is still in. Of course she is. Where's Owl? Is she live? Well, she's not live. Where is she? Oh, then how do you know? Oh, did your mods get kicked now? Okay, hold on. Got it, Angela. I am. Owl is not in there. Yeah, that's all we want to know. We just want to know who's going to lie after the hearing. That's all we care about. Insomnia is still in there? Oh, not that owl. It's our owl. You guys, you can't say owl. We think it's original owl. It's Insomnia Owl. You're still in there? Well, the offer stands, Insomnia Owl. If you want to call and put her on speaker. Insomnia is not in there under their name. Angela says, well, they're both going to lie. That's true. Don't worry, guys. Whatever comes of the hearing today, whatever the order is or is not, it'll be posted online. Scar, you just got kicked. They're kicking everyone out. You were kicked now, Insomnia Owl. Still 160 people in the thing. You got kicked too. They're kicking everyone. Wow, Clara, what do you have to hide? Can we say F the transcripts of Yaba? We need the hussy ones. We'll get them both pecan pie. String cheese, no. I mean, it should be on by the end of the day or sometime tomorrow. Is D. Higgins there? Not that I've seen. She wants to manipulate the outcome like in Indiana. She knows she's effed, yeah. All this has done is make everyone see she's got something to hide. Exactly. You bet $100 she's settling. She's going to offer whatever they collected in the war chest, you think? Probably. Lucky Lola says that she and another viewer live nearby. They'll just go in person for the next one. I don't know. I think when they're held over the Zoom like this or whatever it is, I don't think they're actually in a courtroom. You bet she's settling? Wow. Will Hussey be the next to join the attic? We'll see. I never saw that lawyer show up. I never saw the lawyer who wrote the motion on DC's behalf show up. Also, let me go back and refresh. There's still no attorney of record for Clara. I mean, we are 30 minutes past the hearing time. Presumably, Clara's side got the judge to kick everybody out, but there's no attorney of record. Wow, string cheese. That's too bad. Yep, DC locked down her Twitter. Me too, hippista. Guarantee that confidentiality will be part of the settlement. You think she's settling? Could her attorney be there in person? I don't think so. It didn't appear that there was anybody in person in the courtroom. I think you could probably ask an attorney to pay an attorney to file a motion. I don't know. Can she make her sign? Well, I mean, she can if she's offering a settlement, she can stipulate anything. Clara was not wearing her hat. No, she was not wearing a hat. Oh, wait, Lisa says no. Okay. Resident counsel over here says no. I think that was in response to the question, can she make Hussey sign an NDA? Can that attorney have filed the motion but not made appearance as being retained in response to hiring for one motion? No. Okay, no, you cannot do that. So why is the attorney that wrote the motion for Clara not listed on here? You think they just it doesn't update real time like that or something? They're not letting anyone in. I'm telling you right now. Oh my God. What's going on with my mouse? It's like somebody else is controlling it. Oh no. Well, guys, I knew when I saw that tech in there, we were getting the boot. I knew it because that tech account had not been in there. They showed up in there during that private phone call with the judge. Okay, I will. All right, I'll be right back. Hold on. Actually, I think we're just going to go ahead and end the live stream because there's no way they're going to let anybody back in there. So we'll just have to wait. Who do you think will go live first? Clara. That's going to be my bet, Clara. Did you say your name? Yes, my name. Well, on my phone, the way it was showing up, I was right next to her. They let your mod back in. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really believe anything she says. They kicked another 11 out. I mean, at this point, they might as well just reschedule the damn hearing. They've spent 36 minutes kicking people out. How can you see that, Dana? Where do you see the numbers? You doubt either one of them will stream about it? Oh, Clara will absolutely stream about it. Or it'll be talked about on either Clara or Ron's next stream for sure. For sure. Hold on. I got Amazon deliveries. All right, guys. No, I'm still in. Well, not in. Don't mean to alarm anybody. You can see who's in there. Okay, hold on. I'm hanging up. They're not going to let us in. Tea and Sass is in. Hold on. All right. Well, listen. As long as somebody's in there and can verify what took place in the hearing, that's good enough, you know. Hold on. See, T and Sass is live. They're gonna kick him out. I don't think T and Sass is in there. Oh. Oh, the judge asked Hussey why he's wearing disguise, and Hussey said he's gender fluid. Hold on. Are you really listening right now, T and Sass? I see T and Sass, but I also see her live. That's not T? I'm so confused. That's what I thought. Get out of here. Get the fake T and Sass out of here. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, well, that's good. Hold on. Where's the fake T and Sass? Oh, you already. Okay. Thank you, Tally. Touchgrass, thank you for the super chat. Kimmy Sunshine, thank you for the super chat. This is both exciting and boring at the same time. It is. But I guess I think MFW is going live and she's got a mod in there. So I guess head over there. No, that's the link for in fact, let me take that off of there. That is the link for the hearing for you to join. Hold on. This is why I'll never quit YouTube. Let's see. All right, hold on. All right. Well, listen, I'm getting off of here. They're not going to let anyone back in there if there is somebody in there and they're going to be giving the report, then by all means bop on over there. But I'm going to go ahead and shut this one off. Thanks for being here. I'm glad we got to go over the motion and we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see what happens. All right. All right. All right.